Okay, we are back. Thank you for your patience. All right, so Miguel,
Yes.
you and Rico step into pump 1C. The sprinklers have dissipated majority of the flames. It's smoking, but it's a nice gray smoke as opposed to the nice thick black smoke that was given off earlier, along with some steam.
Is it 1C or 1B?
I'm sorry, 1B, yes.
Okay.
Yes, 1C, right, you're right. 1C was the area that was locked off.
With humming behind it.
Yes.
And the sprinklers are going throughout 1A?
Yeah, sprinklers in 1A were dousing the fire, and then
Gotcha.
eventually they put everything out and then died off as you guys were walking into the hallway. You guys are currently drenched.
Yep.
But you're no longer covered in blood, so
Bonus.
it's a bonus.
Yeah, I like that. What I would do, yeah, I mean, we got to look around this place. We got to find something, figure out what's going on here, find an exit. And I would relay it to Rico, be like, hopefully there are no more ghouls around here, little bastards.
Yes.
No.
He looks down and is like, I hope not as well, because as he checks his gun, I believe I am almost out of ammo.
Well, he has the same gun I have, right?
Yes, he's carrying a 10mm.
I have 9 more bullets in this gun. I will hand a pistol over to him. I have my rifle. Take this one then.
He takes it. He's like, thank you, my friend.
At least until we're out of this shithole.
Absolutely.
You got the flashlight. Lead the way.
He clicks it on as the light sort of sputters on and off, turns back on in the area, and you can see more or less the same kind of scene that was before you had disturbed pumped 1A. 1B is more or less the same kind of situation.
Okay.
People were camping out here. There's cards on a table. Yeah, there's just random stuff going on. You do see there is a green footlocker put up against on the floor next to one of the pipes that are sticking into the cement.
Okay. A. Do I see any more caps around?
There are cards on the table. It looks like they were probably playing for caps, because you do see 2 of them on the table.
Oh, playing cards. Yeah, I'll take the playing cards.
Cool, yeah. So it's only a hand, so you only got like 4 or 5 cards in there.
Oh,
but
forget about it. I'll throw them away.
Okay.
Now you say green. Do you mean glowing green, or do you mean just color green?
No, like a military style
Okay.
camo green type.
Yeah, I'll walk up to that and I'll look around for any traps.
Yeah,
Just keep a
I'm not going to
sim,
make you roll for it. It doesn't seem to be trapped in any kind of way.
Good. Pop her open.
You pop open the top and you look inside, and you can see some clothes. Looks like a pair of shoes. There's a stim pack. There's also what looks to be a holotape and a key ring with a single key on it.
The stim pack. Shoes. Are they my size?
Yes.
Excelente. Stim pack seal 4.
No, that's a D6 you have to roll to determine how much.
Okay. You fancy. Shoes. Do I know anything special with the shoes?
They're leather. They seem to be sort of like hunting, hiking boots.
Ooh, nice. I'll keep those for sure. What are the other things?
A key ring and a holotape.
Key ring, beautiful. Holotape. Hey Rico, I don't have a Pit Boy. Do you got one? Play this tape.
He looks at it and is like, no, I do not.
Hell. We'll look at one of the terminals. Maybe we'll find a tape player there. How many keys are in the key ring?
There's a single key.
One key.
Yep, and it's got a piece of masking tape wrapped around it, and you see written in Sharpie 1C.
Well, it's pretty clear where that one goes. I got the key for 1C. Let's continue looking around here real quick.
Sure. While you do that, first give me roll a d6. Determine your level of your stim pack that you found.
5.
5. So that heals 7.
Ooh, nice. 7 heals. I'm just gonna write 7 heals because that sounds cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right,
you and Rico do a once over of pump 1B. The whole place, like I said, is very similar to 1A. Lots of camping stuff set out throughout the area. Very ragged. There's some food there that looks like it could be used. If you want to take some food, there's an unopened bottle of Sunset Sarsaparilla.
Ooh, yeah. I love this stuff. I don't know how to spell that, but I'm going to try.
That's close.
Food. I was going to say food.
Sure. Yeah, it's what are they called? Dandy's apples.
Ooh, nice.
Some pre-war junk food.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, Pump 1B
Computer.
also has a computer terminal attached to it.
Okay, I'm going to look at the computer terminal and see if it can be fired up as well.
Yeah, it turns on. As it turns on, you see the same kind of setup with the lines of code, ASCII art of the little fish in the fishbowl giving you the thumbs up with the flipper. But when everything finally loads through, you see error connection timeout. And none of the options that you saw on Pump 1A show up.
I think what we have to do is we have to fire these up in order. Fire 1A, 1B. After we do 1A, 1B will be ready to fire. Maybe do 1B and then 1C will be ready to go.
Yes, that makes a sort of sense.
Sort of. I look around a little bit more. Do we see any cables that are unplugged or anything like that?
No cables. The
No.
terminal itself seems to be plugged directly into like the wiring of the building. So like it's just got a big metal sheathing covering the cords from the terminal that goes straight into the concrete. So there's no loose wires or anything like that.
You want to go fire up 1A?
Of course. And he steps back through. You can hear him coughing as he's dealing with the smoke as it's kind of billowing out. Ay, Dios míos. And after a few moments, you can hear some click-clacking on a keyboard. There's like, I think I did it. You can hear like buzzing and whirring from Pump 1A as it starts to lowly hum.
Anything change on my computer?
Eventually, the error connection timeout dips away, and the same sort of setup shows over.
Okay. What was that setup again?
You got the regular random files that talks about like particulates and pressure gauges, and then you have sequence 1B.
Yeah.
Initiate.
Do sequence 1B initiate.
You click it. You smack some keyboards, clickety-clack, and after a few more moments, it starts to hum. And you can see it start to rattle and shake as one of the pipes in 1B starts to give off spraying water. Just
A lot or just a little bit?
a lot. Like it starts... You can see a bolt pop and shove into the wall.
This don't look good. Is there any way we can
Rico
fix
comes
this?
back in. He's like, everything seems to be fine over there. Oh, Jesus.
Can I turn it off from the computer?
You're looking at the computer and you don't see anything that says to turn off or anything like that.
If I were to, how big is the pipe?
The pipe itself is probably like 1.5 feet in diameter.
Okay.
It's not one of the bigger pipes that are connected to it. There are some pipes on the pump that are huge. But this
Okay.
one is probably like 1 foot in diameter. And it looks like specifically where 2 pipes are connecting is where the problem is.
Yeah.
It looks like it's rusted away or something's happened. One of the bolts popped off and is jammed in the wall. And it's just spewing water from it.
So where is the water spewing from? From the bolt hole or from like the
From
where two pipes
the
meet?
connection, yeah. It's
Right.
just spraying out in like a thin plane.
Do we got anything to seal that?
Rico's looking
Need
around.
some-
He's like,
some
I
kind
have
of
duct
glue or
tape,
something."
but I'm not sure if that's waterproof. We could check the maintenance.
I got some before this, but I want some kind of sealant or something. So yeah, let's go check the maintenance area.
Okay. So what are you looking for?
I'm looking for some kind of some kind of compound to get within the crack. What I'm going to do, what I plan on doing, I have. You remember back at the camp with the super mutant? I took a bag of weapon parts and slave collars.
You did, yeah.
What I want to do is get some kind of compound within the crack, use a slave collar to wrap around there, maybe put a piece of cloth as well
Yeah, okay.
to kind of try to seal that.
Sure, yeah, that's a great idea. So, you guys get to the maintenance room back where like the tunnel leads down. A bunch of tools and stuff like that. Nothing immediately stands out to you as useful. So go ahead and give me a task, intellect 3, for searching through. If you don't succeed on this roll, then you don't find the thing specifically. You may find something similar that you might be able to use. It'll just make the next roll you have to make for fixing everything that much more difficult.
Now, fudge, I really have nothing to offer on that. Oh, one thing I was going to mention, I do have surging confidence. When you use an action to make your first recovery roll of the day, you immediately gain another action. I didn't realize that. So I don't know if that would have helped me earlier, but
Yeah, so that wouldn't help you right then, but had you been in
Yeah.
combat and you
Yeah.
tried to use your recovery, you could use your turn to use your recovery, and then your surge in confidence would allow you to get your turn back.
gotcha. Yeah, I got nothing. I'm gonna have to straight roll.
Okay. You can always
6.
6? Oh, that's a D6.
Oh god, there's D6. I was like, why is
It's
it
like,
green?
why is it
Wait a
green?
minute. That would have been a hell of a D20 though.
Yeah.
Not 20. And I get a 3, of course.
Level 1. Okay, so you're looking through, and you find in one of the drawers a rolled up plastic tube. And you look at it and you unfurl it, and it says plumber's paste. And you're like, perfect. And you pop off the top, and you're looking at it, there's not a lot in there. So this will probably help, but it's not going to do everything. And it's basically, you're going to take a -1 asset to your roll to try and repair this thing.
Gotcha.
Normally this would have helped you, but because of how poorly you rolled.
Now, would that be negated if I take Rico's, what did he have?
Duct tape.
Duct tape. If he has duct tape, will that kind of equal out so I don't have to...
Potentially. It could, maybe.
Negative asset, positive asset.
Yeah, it could
just call
be.
it good,
The,
maybe.
the duct tape does help,
Yeah. Is there anything
but you
else in
needed
this
the
room,
putty.
or-
You needed the putty to be able to do it in the first place. So like you need the
Right.
putty to be able to repair it. As far as anything else in here, you do find like a wrench that looks like it'll fit whatever you need to twist and turn.
What about this Dandy's apples? If I get them mushy enough.
Oh yeah, those things are gross. If you want to spend the time like chewing on them and getting them nice and good, the corn syrup in that you could probably mixed in with the stuff. Yeah, sure, I would give you that. Absolutely.
I will do that then. I will have both of us be like, here, chew on this, and I'll like start shoving it in his mouth for him with my dirty ass fingers. And like, chew on these, quick. And I'll be putting them in my mouth and be like, just chew on them. We'd be munching down.
They are delicious. Probably a little too sweet. They hurt your one tooth. But yeah, eventually you guys spit into an extra container that you find there. Enough dandy paste mixed in with your plumber's dough to get enough stuff together.
Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that on the pipe along with the duct tape and then the slave collar over the top of it. Kind of just cinch down on it and try to get it sealed shut.
Cool. All right. So with all of that together, I need a level 4 intellect task, and all of that gives you 1 asset, so it brings it down to level 3. So I need a 9 or above.
Yeah.
The water's spraying all over the place. You're getting wet again.
I'm gonna be silly, and I'm gonna do an effort on my. God, do I really want to? Yeah, I'm gonna do an effort on my intellect.
Okay.
So I'd bring it down to a 2. So I have to get a 6 or above.
6 or above.
I got a 9.
9. Nice. So yeah, you and Rico sort of take turns putting all the material down and splunching it in between the cracks and the nooks and crannies. And then you take some cloth and you wrap it around your dandy paste. And then you put the plumbers on top of that, stick it in between the cloth to get it nice and filled in. Water's still poking out in between, so Rico tries to help you with that. And then you guys take out the duct tape and you start rolling it around. You guys run out of duct tape halfway through and you're like, oh, fuck. And so you're just like, the rest of it's just cardboard. You're just wrapping it around, hoping that it'll help. Finally, you take out the slave collar and you close it around. And it almost looks like it's not going to fit, like it's just smaller. Just barely smaller, and you're like, come on. And so you get both sides and you stick something in there and you winch it and you start turning to get it closed and you're like, come on. Eventually you get it all in there and fastened and the water stops leaking.
Yeah, that's teamwork, buddy.
Just a few more drips coming from the pipes, and eventually the drips start to slow, and eventually the drips stop.
Think we got it. All right, let's go to 1C. That should be the final one.
He's like, yes, and I believe you have the key, no?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I got it from the Foot Locker.
Then let us go and let us be done with this place.
I also got these fine shoes from Foot Locker.
You guys make your way across the floor. Past pump 1A. The smoke is still kind of dissipating in the area, but it's not nearly as bad to breathe in. You guys walk down the hallway and over to pump 1C's room. The door's still there. You can hear something humming behind the other side.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. It doesn't sound like the pumps. And it doesn't. The pumps on this side sound like they're like a rushing noise that's just like... But this is like a low drumming hum that's just kind of going.
Kind of like electronics or something?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. We gotta be prepared. We haven't seen that robot yet. Could be that. Could be anything. Yeah, I'll pull out the key, insert it into whatever hole I can find, and hopefully it's the right one for the door.
And hopefully you put the key into the hole, you turn it, it clicks, and the door unlocks. As you push the door open, you can see it creak. You see another hallway. This place is lit up.
Okay.
There are emergency lights that have been strung up down the hallway. you can see that the hallways themselves, where the doors that we were in the other hallways, the doors themselves have been removed. There's no doors.
Okay.
And then you can see what looks to be the big giant opening of what you presumably is Pump 1C. There is a bright light from 1C that is casting the shadow of the pump onto the wall next to it that you can see along the wall. And it's like a bright blue that's like flashing in and out. And that's what's creating that humming noise. You noticed every time the hum pops or stops, the light goes away and then it pops back up.
Okay. Do I see anybody, hear anybody? I mean,
you don't see anybody immediately, but you can hear what sounds like footsteps scraping on the floor.
Okay.
And whirring noises.
And you said there are no doors on the wall here? We can actually go into these rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna, whisper to him being Rico, to be quiet. I'm going to kind of go into these rooms, kind of see what's in them, but also to take cover from anybody who might be in the hallway.
Yeah, so as you look into the doorway, the first two doors on your left and right are completely empty and barren. The only thing that gives you any note that something bad happened here is there is a blood stain on the floor.
That's, a pretty good note.
It seems not fresh, like it's been there for a little bit.
Okay. I will work my way down the hallway to the main room, trying to sneak my way up and just try to find out what is waiting for us.
Sure. As you pass the next set of doorways, you look in and both sides, you see one of them has a maintenance room, like the one that's in Pump 1A. It's got a very similar setup, but the whole place inside of that has been stripped clean of any tools or shelving or anything like that. And the only things that are inside are what looks like kennels stacked on top of each other.
Shit.
And all of them are open.
Gah.
And the manhole that was in the one and the other one is open. And you can
we shut it?
You can, yeah.
Wait, is a manhole? What's going down?
If you step into the room, you look down the manhole, and it looks like it goes down the 15 feet into another room similar to the one that you were in.
Ladders, though.
It is a ladder, yes.
Okay. Dogs can't normally climb ladders.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna close it anyway.
Yeah, you take a moment to no thanks.
Yeah.
Clink. Manhole slots back into its covering.
Just close the only exit we had. Gonna try to sneak around again and check what we have.
Sure.
Outside.
So, the hallway opposite of you is another room that also has more kennels. They're also open, but there's nothing in there for another manhole cover. That's the last doorway before you reach the end of that hallway. You get up next to the wall and you peek your head across and you can see Protectron walking back and forth between two areas. You can see it very carefully, just kind of moving. It looks like it's carrying something. And then it walks over and you see this big pipe that has a hatch open and you can hear water rushing through it. And the robot just starts to pour something into that pipe. And then it takes the container and puts it down next to a bunch of other containers that are empty. And then it turns and starts walking over to the other side of the room.
Okay. Questions. Can I see anything on the containers?
There is writing on the container. It's a little hard to make out from how far you are. If you use your scope or something like that, it'd be a lot easier to take a look at.
Pull up my monocle.
Yeah.
That I have wrapped around my neck, and I'm going to try to see if I can read the name.
Yeah, so you pop up your monocle, your little monocular,
Yeah.
and you start reading off the sides of the containers. They're blue plastic barrels and very, very obviously have like a biohazard symbol on one side of it. And then you see it's got stenciled onto it. It says Nuka-Cola. And then It looks like someone slapped a sticker over that, and it says Magnifico Agricola.
Okay. So the bot is just trying to show the world the wonderful taste of Nuka-Cola.
Apparently.
Is the bot saying anything? Most Protectrons that I maybe have encountered say things when they are walking.
Yeah.
Verbalize their stuff.
So
Is
this
he
one
saying
doesn't
anything?
seem to have any idle talk. Every now and then, now that you actually can see it as it's moving, as it's walking, you just kind of take a moment and watch it move back and forth once or twice. It gets to the top, it pops off the top of this plastic barrel, and then as it's pouring it in, you can just hear it start to whistle something.
He's enjoying his day.
Yes.
Do I see a computer terminal?
There is a terminal that's attached to pump 1C. It seems to currently be on.
Yep. And we haven't up to this point seen anywhere where this Protectron might be, where his base might be, where his
There's no Protectron pod.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't see one in this area.
Okay.
The thing I will let you know, because like I said, there was a bright blue flashing light that was popping up. There is some sort of loose wire coming up from the ground.
Okay.
And it's on the ground, and it sparks and skitters left and right all over the place. And that's what's causing the bright blue light to illuminate the area.
So if I'm in the doorway, I'm looking straight ahead, I'm seeing the computer terminal with the flashing blue light, because down at the base of that
from the hallway, about 100 feet in front of you is the beginning of pump 1C.
Yep.
The terminal is just adjacent to the beginning of the side that you can face of pump 1C. Okay. The Protectron is back behind on the right-hand side along a giant pipe that goes along the wall. Underneath that pipe where the rushing water is, there is a live wire that's spitting across the floor. It's probably 200 feet out from you, but it's within 50 feet of this robot. It's actually putting some of the barrels next to the live wire.
Okay. I'm going to tell Rico. I'm going to tell Rico to go over to the computer terminal. I'm going to try to get the... I'll be like, Rico, go to the computer terminal. I'm going to go near that wire. I'm going to try to get the bot to come to me. And if he hits that wire, good. If not, you have to shut the water down. And then we got to shut this robot down.
Okay. I will do my best, my friend.
And I'm going to kind of sneak over there, all quiet and nice, all willy-nilly.
So he steps over towards the computer, and you start making your way over towards the robot. Would you like an XP?
Yes.
Go ahead and take an XP. As you're sneaking your way across, your foot splashes in a puddle.
Damn puddles.
There's water all over the floor here in this pump from that pipe with the water rushing through, and from whatever gross-ass shit he's pouring into it. The live wire is sparking around on the floor, and every now and then the head of the wire hits the puddle of water. And you know that that's not a good thing, but nothing bad's happened as of yet.
Is there a way... What I would like to do is... Okay, what's around me that I can stand on that's not metal?
That's not metal.
Yeah, I know that you said those blue barrels. They're plastic?
Plastic, yeah.
Is there one near me that I can maybe jump upon?
Yeah, so the barrel is empty. It's plastic. Yeah. It's actually a cement barrel.
Okay.
With a plastic covering around it. And that's to protect whatever toxic bullshit's inside.
Yep.
So it doesn't just corrode the plastic and melt out and all of that stuff. The barrel itself is probably 3 foot tall and maybe 2 foot wide.
That's good enough.
And yeah, it's not particularly... It's hefty, but not so much that you couldn't pick it up if you needed to. What would you like to do with it?
What I want to do is I want to get on it because I don't want to get electrocuted by this wire.
Okay.
I have the stalker ability that I'm trained in all types of movement, including climbing, yada, 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 so it should be no problem to get on a 3-foot barrel.
Yeah, no, you pop up there pretty easily.
My ultimate idea is that I want to get this Protectron over to me, and then I'm going to take my rifle and try to... Because I imagine I have a wooden butt on the rifle.
Sure.
I want to try to get that, when it comes near me, get that wire into the water to electrocute this thing.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes. So you to get to where the wire is about 200 feet away from you.
Okay.
So you will either have to traverse across the water or figure out a way to hop between the pipes that are above and try not to get popped or fall.
So there's 200 feet between me and the wire, and then how many feet between me and the robot?
Between you and the robot, probably 150. It's kind of moving back and forth between its two
so
spots.
the wire's behind the robot?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, change of plan. And then can I see past that wire? Is it dry over there on the other side of the wire?
So there is a part of the ground that the wire is on that is dry. And so it skirts around, popping back and forth as it's kind of moving along the ground. And then every now and then it plops into the puddle of water and then pops back out.
Okay. So if I go around the left side of this room, right, I'd be able to go around and get on the other side of the wire?
Yes. You would
like
either have to walk through some of the puddle or climb along some of the piping that's there.
Climb the pipe.
Okay. So that's going to be a level 2 task to get that done, either might or speed.
And that's including my stalker ability with the climbing? Take that down?
No, that's not including it, so that would drop it down to 1.
I will do that then. And I'll do this straight up. So we're looking at 2, 6 or higher.
Yep, 6 or higher.
20, baby.
Nice. So yeah, you sort of swing back and forth between the different pipes, and you actually find on the other side as you get through a trail of those barrels that you can very easily just kind of walk on top of. Rico kind of follows your path, and he doesn't have to climb through the puddles either. And so he drops down in front of the computer terminal, and he starts clacking on it and gives you the thumbs up as you make your way across the back half of the room, behind Pump 1C, towards the side where you can see the wire exposed. It's probably within 50 feet right now. You're standing on a stack of these barrels, and the Protectron is just kind of moving back and forth. And like I said, it whistles every now and then, it picks up a barrel, pops the top open, pours it into the rushing water, and then drops it off. You can see on this side of the room that you're on, the big pipe that he's pouring it into, you can see it says river access stenciled across.
So I'm 50 feet from the cable right now?
Yeah.
And he is always in the water?
Seems to be. Every now and then, like, he'll step out of it if he has to grab a barrel that's further away, but he's more or less in the water the entire time.
Is there a way for me to move closer to that wire without getting in the water?
Sure, yeah, with your major effect, yeah. You can find another trail of barrels to make your way across, and you kind of hop over there. I will say, though, the barrel that you see that is like directly next to the wire on the ground, that would be the easiest to sort of push in, it looks like the robot is currently walking towards it.
Okay. I am going to ask the robot, does he know what time it is?
You speak, and for a split moment, the robot doesn't seem to do anything. It's just kind of continuing with its stuff. And then this Protectron, it doesn't have any of its protective coverings over it. You see all of the mechanical bits and the whirring drives and everything like that. And you can see everything in it stop for just a second, and just a single doodad spin around over and over again as everything kind of comes back together, and then it turns and shifts its whole body towards you. And then it looks, and its arms rise up, and you notice that its hands have little white cartoon gloves instead of regular Protectron gloves.
Yeah.
And you notice that its feet have little white cartoon boots, but the rest of it is just like a gutted Protectron.
Damn. Do I know what these gloves or boots are made out of?
They seem to be made out of metal.
Uh-huh. Okay. Interesting.
You see it trying to do something. It's kind of shifting back and forth. It looks like it has a speaker near where its head is, but the speaker is cracked. So it's just buzzing every now and then. And so every now and then you catch some words or sounds that could be words. And it's very low, gargled noises as huh, it, huh. And the rest of it's just static.
Yeah. Yeah, Chrome Dome, you're wanted in 1A.
It stops for a second, and then you see it start popping its arms up into the air, and then it starts bobbing to the side.
You want to dance?
You can see it's still buzzing and flapping its speaker, and the static is just kind of you.
Hey Rico, there's nothing on the computer for this robot, is there?
He's looking. You can hear him clacking. I don't see anything on here about a robot. It says that pump 1C can be initialized if I press yes.
No. Wait.
Okay.
Hell with it. Hit the button.
You hit the button. Well, Rico hits the button, and you can hear pump 1C kick on. And as that happens, it starts to buzz and whir. You can hear the water starting to rush into the different pipes in the area. One's like right next to your head as it goes across. And as that happens, the robot stops and its arms kind of come out forward. And then you notice that its right hand, the metal glove, falls off onto the floor.
Great.
And from it, you see the barrel of a gun stick out. I need you to give me task 5 speed defense.
Good lord. Yeah, I'm going to use my edge. I'm going to take 2, so that's going to be a task 4.
Okay.
Now that's straight up speed. I can't say, because I'm just dodging right now. I'm not actually instigating anything like a movement than an action.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Shit, I should have got that on the tape. Okay, we'll, yep, so I'm going to 4, so 12 or better. 19, baby.
19! Nice. Go ahead and give yourself 1 point back. That'll be your minor effect. So, the barrel spits out of the arm and fires, and you're like, oh shit! And you hop off into the puddle and roll, doing like an action roll as you hit the ground. And you see it fire, and it spits out like a button in the air. And as the button flies through the air, it hits the concrete wall where your head currently was just a moment ago, and it sparks in electricity.
Ooh.
And then it crackles, and then it stops.
Interesting.
It is going to be your turn.
Yep.
You are currently in the puddle of water. You can see the wire is currently not there in the water, because otherwise you would know.
Yes, sir. What I would like to do is I'm going to use Fleet of Foot.
Okay.
I'm going to hop on that last barrel that he was walking towards. You said there was a barrel he was walking towards in between me and the wire?
Yeah, he's currently like standing next to it.
That's fine. How far away?
He's probably 20 feet away from you.
Okay.
He's standing within 10 feet of it.
That should be decent. I'm going to use Fleet of Foot to hop on the barrel.
Okay.
And I want to use, like I said, the gun. I'm going to grab the wood stock and try to swipe the wire into the water.
Okay.
So that's a level 2 speed check on
Fleet of Foot. Yep. So I need a 6 or above.
I'm going to use effort to knock it down to a 1.
Okay.
So that's going to bring me down there. So 3 or above, and I get 14.
14. So yeah, you take a quick moment, realize where you are. You're like, oh god, and you rush over to the barrel and you hop on top. Yeah, and you take the butt of the gun. And what exactly are you trying to do? You want to push the wire into the water?
Sparking wire into the water where the robot is currently standing in metal boots and completely made out of metal. So I'm hoping it will spark up. Yeah, you push the live wire into the water. And as that happens, you see the electricity crackle all across the puddle of water. Everything goes up. You see the robot, you see the electricity rush up its legs and around. You can see it inside the components, starts spitting out. Sparks are flying everywhere. It's trying to, like, readjust itself. It starts spitting out a fume from its speaker. This green noxious gas just kind of surrounds it as it starts firing randomly as the electrical bolts shoot out from its arm. I need you to give me a speed 4 defense test to not get tagged by one of these things. Yeah. I will go ahead and help it. We're going to do effort. Okay. And so it'll be 3. I got 12. Okay. 12. Nice. So yeah, it starts spitting. You're like, oh god. And so you try and like position yourself behind one of the barrels that in the dry ground as you see these buttons pop into everything and give off electric sparks, which is not helping all of the other electrical charges throughout the area as everything just starts sparking everywhere. The robot itself starts hissing and whirring, and the front end of it pops and explodes as like bits and pieces of it like ignite on fire as it's starting to move around. It's still up and seems to trying to be doing something, but you're definitely ruining its day. You look over across the way to Rico, and Rico is currently hugging a pipe, lifted up, his legs hanging like monkey style, trying to not touch the water that's directly underneath him. I am going to slide back on the top of this barrel. How far away is the bot from me? He's probably just outside of 10 feet. Okay. I'm going to slide up on top of this barrel. I'm going to yell to Rico, hang in there, buddy. And then I'm going to take aim at the bot with my rifle and fire at it. Okay. So he's a level 4 creature. I'm going to... rough. Going to use a effort. Okay. Rough. And we're going to roll because it's only a level 3 now. Yeah, so 9 or above. God! So you fire, and the bullet rings out, and you tag it directly, but it seems to, wherever you hit it, it doesn't seem to do much damage. Or if it did damage, it doesn't seem to care because it's currently being electrocuted. Whatever it was, you're not quite sure, but it's still moving. And at this point, it starts to try and move towards you. And you can see
It's still trying to fire out of its hand, but it's just clicking. It seems to be out. But the other hand is outreached towards you, and you can see it like a little clapper hand trying to reach towards you. I need you to give me a level 3 speed defense task before it grabs you.
Yep, we're going straight roll. Yep. Oh, 7.
7. So it goes across, lunges, and grabs onto your environmental suit and drags you up into the air. And you are lifted up. Right now, as it is, you don't seem to be getting any electrical current through you.
Okay.
But this thing is lighting up as electricity is popping off on it. And it's lifting you up into the air. You're probably dangling 2 or 3 feet off from the ground. It's starting to spew out gas from its mouth area. And this green gas starts to hit you in the face.
Yep.
I need you to give me a level 5 might task.
Oof. Rough. I'm going to spend effort on this, so it's only going to cost me 1 because I have 2 edge. And you say level 5, so level 4 now?
Yes. So...
Whoa.
Ooh. So the gas hits you in the face, and immediately your senses start to dull.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the room starts to get really blurry and black, and for just a moment you start to like pass out. And then you're...
Is it going through the environmental suit that I have?
It is. Like you're filtering it through the suit.
Damn.
So like as you're breathing it in, it's like it's starting to do this. And so you're fighting it off, and you shake and you kick off of it, and you can feel the electricity bolt up your leg, and you're going to take 1 damage.
Harsh.
It's your turn. You're still fully cognizant, but this thing is like it's causing your mind to get foggy.
Am I in reach of a pipe or anything above me?
Yeah.
I don't know how grappling works in this game. Is there a...
There's no such thing as a grappling mechanic. You basically tell me what you want to do, and then I tell you what level of difficulty that would be to achieve it.
Here's the problem I'm seeing right now, other than I'm being strangled and poisoned by a robot.
Those are some pretty big problems that we're setting aside. Okay.
There is electrical water, electrified water below me. So even if I do get away from this thing, I'd have to
contend with the water, yeah.
Yep, or land on if I can, use my stalker ability to land on a barrel.
I mean, that's always a possibility. You always have the possibility of doing something.
Here's, I guess here's ultimately what I would like to do. I would like to get up on a pipe, and then, like, if I can use fleet of foot, get up on a pipe, and then I would like to jam my rifle bayonet into its face, or whatever structure it has in the brain region, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I do that, I guess? Fleet of foot?
Yeah, fleet of foot would definitely help, because that would be you're grabbing up onto the thing and pulling yourself away, and then your other attack would be that, so.
Okay. I will do that. I'm going to roll a straight speed. So
2 for the fleet of foot. 14. Yeah, so you grab onto the piping above you, and you start trying to like maneuver your way away from the robot. It starts ripping the environmental suit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's still holding onto the suit, but you were sort of like slithering your way out of it as you grab onto the pipe.
It's metaphorical. I'm a butterfly coming out of a cocoon.
Beautiful butterfly. Majestic. As you're being birthed.
More like a poop coming out of the anus as you take a nice swig.
That's not what I needed in my mind. Thank you. So yeah, you're currently dangling from the pipes right now. You have your rifle slung over your shoulder right now, and so you'll have to use it one-handed, which is going to make your shot just a little bit more difficult. So you're not going to get your point blank range bonus from this.
Gotcha.
But if you hit, you'll still get the point blank range damage.
If I'm not shooting though, if I'm using the
bayonet, right, you want to stab it. So if you're stabbing it's still going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yep.
Just because doing it one-handed as opposed to both hands and jabbing it in there.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so it's still going to be one asset higher than normal. So it's going to be a level 5.
But that's might, and I can use my edge to lower that to 1. So that would be, instead of 5, 4. Yep, we're gonna do that. We're gonna win. Shit, no, we're not going to win.
You stab into the robot, and you definitely connect with something in there. You hear a vacuum tube in there pop and explode, and glass shatters throughout it. And it takes a step back and releases your environmental suit. And then as that happens, everything in the area, all of the electricity and everything like that, including the lights up above, pops and explodes all at the same time, as all of the lights just and shatter glass down on everybody. You take one damage, as glass and sparks and shit hits you. And the live wire sort of dies out.
Okay.
The robot takes a moment to readjust itself. It's still whirring and twirling. Rico kind of looks around. It's pitch black now. The only light that you can see is coming from the light source inside of the pipe with the rushing water.
Okay. I'm gonna yell at Rico. I'll be like, God damn it, Rico, get your flashlight and shoot this thing.
Rico is still looking and hanging from the pipe. He's like, oh, okay, give me a moment. And he splashes down into the puddle. And he starts crawling around on the ground trying to find his flashlight. It's your turn.
Yes, it is. I am going to... Using something from inventory is considered an action.
It depends on what it is. What are you trying to do?
Stim pack.
Yeah, that would be your action. You could do fleet of foot.
Now, would that allow me to use a stim pack and then do an action, or just move?
Yeah.
So I could do a stim pack and then attack or something?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna yell over to Rico. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna give you some lights. Be ready to shoot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll fleet of foot to the stim pack, so I actually get some sort of points in my system here. Get my health back.
Sure.
And then I'm going to take aim and fire at the last place I saw the bot.
Okay.
If not to hit it, to at least light it up so that Rico can shoot it.
Sure, yeah. So go ahead and roll your fleet of foot. If you don't make this level 2 task, you'll still take the stim pack and heal. That'll just be your turn.
Okay, fair enough.
Ooh. So you finagle around in your satchel and pull out the stim pack, and you jab it into your rib. And as the pierce hits your rib cage, you feel the stimulants inside rush through your body. And there was pain, but as the pain dissipates, it's replaced with like, oh, that's nice. That's a nice feeling. That's not terrible. So yeah, you get your 7 points back wherever you want to put them.
Got it. Done deal.
Alrighty. So, Rico spends his turn trying to finagle around to the ground. And he's
Sorry,
like,
buddy, couldn't give you light.
He's like, it's fine, I can't find my flashlight. Wait, hold on. And you can hear him splashing around. He's like, I think I found it. And he picks it up. Click, click. Ah, fuck. And you can see that the well, you can't see. He's like, it's broken. It's busted. Fell in the water and got electrocuted.
Like everything else.
Looks like the bulb busted.
Well, I am going to... Do I hear this thing at all? I mean, all the electricity went out. Do I hear this?
So, like, you're hearing a lot of steam kind of give off of the area. You still hear the whirring of the pumps and everything like that. And like I said, he was only 20 feet in front of you, so you still know generally where he is, even though you can't quite make him out. You can see like his silhouette sort of painted from the light source from the river access pipe.
Okay.
And you can see him, looks like he's going for a barrel, one of the empty ones. And he picks it up with one hand, and he looks like he's trying to toss it at you.
Yep. I'm still up in the pipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if I drop down, that's not considered movement or anything. I could just drop down and fire at this guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, then I'm going to drop down and I'm going to take aim and fire at this guy.
Cool. So, it's going to be a level 4 task.
Mm-hmm. We're going to drop it down to a level 3 because I'm using my speed efforts. So it'll be level 3, and I'm going to lose.
So level 1. You always have XP if you ever want to re-roll.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. Just to remind you.
Sure. So I'm going to re-roll, and we're going to be lucky and get a 20. Or a 9.
9. At least it hits.
Yep.
Better than not.
Thankfully, I spent effort, kids. That's what you got to do these days. Take some effort.
You fire, and the bullet sparks off of the robot. You can see that it's raised up the barrel to its head as you hit it, and more sparks fly off of it. And then Rico sees that and is like, yes, and he pulls out his gun and he fires. And you can see another spark pop off of the robot as he releases the barrel. I need you to give me a level 3 speed defense as this concrete barrel flies through the air towards you.
Yeah, we're rolling really good right now, so let's just go for a straight speed.
Okay.
And I'm gonna die.
The concrete barrel flies through the air and crashes into you, like directly into your chest. And you get pushed back and slam into the other barrels behind you. As it lands in your lap as you fall on the ground. And you sort of take a moment to push off the barrel, and the entire time it's painful. Go ahead and take 2 points of damage.
Okay. Who throws a barrel, honestly? Going to, in pain. Hell, if I can do it right where I'm at, I still have my rifle. I'm just gonna fire straight at this thing again.
Sure, yeah.
Level 4. I'm gonna go ahead and use my effort. Thank God I used my stim pack, and we're gonna kill it with an 8.
8. You fire, and it bounces off. Ting! You can see that in the flash of light, it's going for another barrel. Rico runs up, and the entire time as he's running, he's just opening fire, and he's just...
I got crushed by this thing, man. I can't shoot straight.
He runs over towards you. My friend, where are you?
I'm in a pile on the ground.
You can see he's trying to make his way over to you, but he's getting stuck in the pipes and it's dark still. So it looks like it's going to take him another moment. Yeah. The Protectron picks up another barrel and turns around and rears it up in the air to throw it at you. Your turn.
Can I do an aimed shot at its arm to try to shoot its arm so that it barrel falls on it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
What's
that's
that
just gonna be a level more difficult to be able to hit a specific body part. So it'd be a level 5 difficulty.
So what you're telling me is after I spend the effort, it's gonna be back to level 4.
Yeah.
And put me in dangerous territory, but you know what? You gotta do it. Can I? God, I guess I don't know if this thing. Is there such a thing as cover? Can I roll behind a barrel and try to get cover with fleet of foot and then do the aim shot to shoot at the arm?
Yes, absolutely. So cover gives you an asset to being protected from an attack.
Okay. So I'll do that. I'm going to roll to roll, literally, behind that barrel that I had previously been standing on, whatever.
Sure.
Take aim at its arm, trying to shoot the arm so the barrel falls on its head.
Sure.
Take damage and then hopefully take damage.
From the barrel, yeah. So that's a level 2 speed task for your fleet of foot to be able to attack after getting behind the barrels.
Well, I'm going to straight roll that because I got him. And I got a 10, so I got that.
You shuffle from your feet and you crawl through the water behind one of these concrete barrels, and you pop up with your rifle and take aim, and you aiming straight for the arm. Go ahead and give me a roll. Like I said, it's a level 5 difficulty task.
But I used my edge, so that's going to be a lower by 1, so it's 4.
Okay.
God help me.
Do you want to use XP to reroll?
I have to. We're going to do this.
Okay.
I'm going to use 1 XP, and we're going to get lucky, and we get a 12.
There you go. Boom. You fire as the bullet flashes again, pierces through the arm, and you can see it explodes off to the side, and some struts and metal pieces blow off of it. As it's holding up the concrete barrel, you can see the weight of the barrel has ruined the integrity of the arm as it sort of snaps back, and the whole thing falls on its head, and then the robot falls forward into the ground, and it's still kicking and crawling, and with its one good hand is now crawling towards you.
Well, what I am going to... God, why does this thing just die? Rico, you know anything about these stupid bots?
Rico is looking, and he's just like, I've seen one quite so ferocious.
Where are the batteries? I try to break its bulb.
I'm not very familiar with robots in general, but usually the compartment on the back is a good spot.
That's what I'm going to try then. I'm going to get up and I'm going to try to bayonet it in the back.
So it is on the ground,
Yep.
crawling towards you, so that's going to be easier for you to hit it. So
Yep.
it's going to be an asset in your favor.
Okay.
So it's crawling.
I'm not playing around, so I'm going to use my effort. So that's going to take it down another one, and I'm going to roll a straight nat 20.
Of course.
Or 16.
16.
That works, too.
That works, too. So, yeah, you jam your bayonet into the back of this Protectron as it's crawling towards you. And more sparks spit out of it. You can see the glowing whizzes and whirs. There's a couple more vacuum tubes in the back side of it that pop and explode in glass as finally the thing stops moving.
Thank God. Oh, God. Throw my rifle across my back. Try to find Rico. Be like,
Rico makes his way over
over.
to you. Yeah, Rico makes his way over to you. He's gasping for air as he's running over. Do we do it? He's starting to spit up blood a little bit.
he's probably not the only one at this point. We're probably looking like pretty sorry people right now.
Yeah, you guys are not looking too good.
Yeah, especially since I'm a ghoul, so I probably look like...
Yeah, you already look like sunny side up pile of dog shit.
I think we solved it. He was dumping his crap in the water. I think we just saved him.
I hope so. I hope so. As he collapses on the floor.
Rico, stay with me.
You shake him a little bit, and he's not responding. As you
Do
flip him over to look at him, you can see he's gotten tagged a couple of times from those spark things that were shot through the air.
Rico. I have buff out on me. Does he have anything on him?
Yeah, you check over him. He doesn't seem to have any more stim packs, and it looks like that buff out was the last of his that he had.
I will give him the buff out and try to make him chew it if he doesn't himself, and or grind it up and like try to get it in his body.
So, this is going to be a level 4 intellect task to sort of recover him, and your buff out gives you an asset to that.
Okay. So we're at level 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell with it. I'll use my I'll use effort.
Okay.
So we're going level 2.
So I need a 6 or above. Boom. You shake up a little bit. You're like, Rico, come on. And
I'm not losing you too.
You pop open the cap from your buff out, and you look at him. There's no way he's going to be able to swallow this. And you're like, nah. And you pop it in your mouth. You crunch down a couple of times. You spit it into your hand. And then you shove it into his mouth, and you're like getting it down there. And you know, like, have you ever had to give a pet medicine and it doesn't want it? You have to like take its head and massage its throat.
Yeah.
You start doing that, and eventually it goes down. And you're like, come on, Rico. And after a few moments, his eyes sort of roll back at his head, and he comes to, and he looks at you. Teresa?
No. It's Miguel.
Oh, God. As his vision sort of like stops blurring, he catches eyes with you. He's like, oh, I saw my Teresa. Oh,
yeah.
She was happy.
I know what that's like.
Oh, God.
Well, I know what that's like, only not the happy part.
He's like, I'm cold. What's happening? Where am I?
We're in this shitty place that we were before, only you're alive.
Oh, thank you, my friend. You've saved my life more times than I can count today.
Yeah. Tell me about it. You owe me.
I think I do.
Yeah, that's at least 5, I think, that you owe me now.
Let's not keep count.
I'm bad at math anyway. We gotta get out of here. I think we saved the people. We cleaned the water. The bot was dumping this crap in the water, and then we filtered it out, so I think we're good. But we have to find a way out of here.
Yes, okay. And he tries to get up and he winces. He's like, or perhaps maybe I could stay here and you can find an exit.
I could try. You gonna be alright?
I will be fine. You're not entirely sure you believe that.
Alright, buddy. I'll go find us. Are you sure you don't want to come with? Suck it up. Look at me.
He's like, I would prefer not to right now.
Alright, look. I'm gonna go find help. I'll be right back. I promise.
Okay. Yes.
You stay here. You be here for me when I come back, okay?
You got it, friend. Of course. And he coughs and more blood starts spitting out. And you can see that globule of the buff out that you gave him is in that glob of blood that he spit it out.
You've been a true friend. I can't say that for many people.
Would you like an XP?
Yeah.
Go ahead and mark XP on your character. He reaches his hand out to you. Miguel, as he puts his hand up in the air. I want you to have this.
What is it? Grab it.
And he puts the locket in your hand, and it springs open. And you see the picture of Miguel and his wife Teresa, and you see a picture of the baby. And he's like, I do not think I will be making it out of here alive, my friend. I need you to finish what I needed to do. I was a shitty father and a worse husband. And you are right. The Toros, they are bad people. But I was hoping, with what we were doing here, that we could start to fix that. And hopefully, this will do some good. But my daughter, she's young and foolish. She's gotten herself into trouble. And I was hoping...
Like a normal kid.
Yes, but this is no ordinary trouble. She's been placed in prison in the Van Buren Mountains.
Oh.
I need you to go there and get her out in whichever way you can.
I'll do this for you. I'd rather be doing this with you.
As would I, my friend. As would I. Her name is Tabitha.
Tabitha? Thank God she looks like her mother.
Oh, yes, I thank God every day. He chuckles, and then he groans again. I do not think this is it. I think my words, and he's starting to, you can see he's fading and his words are getting really, and a few more moments pass and eventually he stops talking and you can see that his shortened breaths have stopped, and after a few more moments he seems to have passed with his hand still reached out in yours with the locket.
Yep. I'm going to... lay him down on the ground. My character, just through what he's been in, he doesn't believe in all the religious stuff anymore. That shit's out the door.
Sure.
But he'll still say a prayer for Rico, just because that's something that Rico might still believe in.
Sure.
I'm going to loot his body. And then I'm going to... If there's anything to wrap him in, I want to wrap him in it.
Okay. There's probably some loose cloth that didn't get burned in one of the pump rooms that you could use to wrap him up.
Okay.
As far as loot is concerned, he had the gun that you gave him.
Okay.
He had 4 more caps that he had on his person.
Okay.
And then he had his satchel that had the environmental suit, the Geiger counter, and like 2 days worth of food.
Okay. What I am going to do now... He's wrapped up in that. I said the prayer. I got all this stuff off him. I'm going to put him in that tube to send him downriver.
Okay. Yeah, you place his body into the river access pipe, and he floats, and then down the pipe he goes.
Yep. Goodbye, friend. And I'll stop and think for a while about our history together. Just kind of nod and look for an exit out of here.
Okay, yeah. After your brief moments of giving respect to Rico and everything like that, you step out through the last hallway in this area that you haven't looked at, and that leads to another square room. But this square room doesn't have a pump station set up. It's got a wall of computers. One of them is currently on. You can see it's the master control terminal. And as you are looking over it, you can see that pumps 1, 2, 3, A through C are all on and connected. And there's like a final initiate filtration sequence, and it says yes or no.
Is there a chair in this room? That's a computer.
Yes.
I'm going to sit in this chair for an hour and contemplate what has just taken place as I heal.
Sure.
Just a little bit.
That's fine.
A whole 3 points. Woo woo.
Is that with the +1?
Yep.
Oof.
Rolling high today, baby.
You can also spend XP to re-roll those ones as well if you need to. I'm just saying.
We'll survive. Look at me. I'll survive. And then I will. What does it say on the screen? Pump 1, 2, 3.
Pump
activate.
Pump A, B, and C sequence activated. Initialize filtration system.
Yep. Yeah, after sitting in the chair for a while, heal up a little bit, contemplating Rico, Tabitha, his wife Teresa, and what he just told me. I figured the one thing I know I have to do right now is definitely get this water running, so I'm going to hit yes, enter.
Okay.
Start this up.
Yeah, as you press enter on it, you can see a bunch of loading bars pop up. And it says filtrating, and an estimated time, and then a long sequence of numbers that's rolling down. Assuming that it's like seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks kind of thing, you're guesstimating somewhere within a month or so, it'll start spitting out clean water.
A month, yeah, okay. Do I see any exit on it here right now?
Yeah, so the room that has the main control terminal is connected to a bunch of like offices and stuff like that, and then there's a main lobby area that leads out, and you see that you have been this entire time just a level below. The exit leads to sort of like a staircase bunker kind of thing that's just below the surface, and there's an exit out that way.
Okay. I will go that way.
So yeah, as you walk out the exit, you can still hear all of the whirring and buzzing of the pumps as they sort of echo through this area. And as you step outside, you sort of push off the door to this sort of cellar-style bunker that's beneath the ground. And as you do that, you step out into the world. And you're back out in the desert area, and you can see that the sun is starting to set. However long you guys have been down out there, it's getting late. As you're looking around, the building of this place, the top side of it, has sort of decayed beyond any sort of thing. You can tell that it was trying to have the facade of like a business building, but it was literally just a facade, just kind of sticking out of the sand of NM Tech's water treatment facility. You can still see on a couple of signs in the parking lot as you're walking around the little fish giving the thumbs up with its flipper for employee of the month parking and stuff like that. But
love that fish.
As far as everything else is, this place is pretty deserted. Nothing of real note around here. And as you sort of get a sense of your bearings, assuming that you can figure out which direction you need to go, the pass is probably to your east. You don't know how far, though.
Well, would I, if I take a look around with my geography skill,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even my history thrown in there as well, kind of figuring out the location of the land?
Yeah, so that would probably be a level 4 intellect task. So with your history and geography, that bump it down to level 2.
Wow. We're rolling like, man, right on. Oof.
So, you take a look around, and you're looking, and you're like, okay, so there's this road here. There's no mile markers that give you any indication of how far out you are. But you look off, and you see the mountains on one side, and then you see where the sun's setting on the other side, and you're like, okay, all right, I think that gives me a rough estimation. You know about where you are, and your guesstimation of that is that the pass is probably a week, maybe not a week, but like 4 days away if
Okay.
you walked straight without stopping.
Right. I am going to stop, though, because I need to heal up.
Sure.
Is there, so I'm on the Texas side now.
Yes.
Is there anywhere around me that has some place where I can hole up really somewhat safely? Is there like a building, anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course you have the water
Yeah.
treatment facility if you really wanted to, but out here you could very easily find something to scrounge up.
Yeah. Well, what I like to do, I mean, I got the 10-hour roll still, and they're going to be reset when I sleep anyway. So,
That's true.
why don't I do that? I'll find some place out here, set up a little camp, and then I will. Oh, I used up that food, didn't I? I have rad roach meat still,
You do, yes.
so that'll add on 1 point to my healing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna cook up that rad roach meat, and then I'm gonna eat that. Then I'm gonna sleep for 10 hours.
Okay. Give me
So
give me a recovery roll.
That'd be D6 plus my tier plus 1. So
Mm-hmm.
a wonderful 5.
Nice. So yeah, you fall asleep, you find a nice little area. Basically, you set up camp like inside of a wrecked out car.
Okay.
The whole place has been gutted through, but you find a nice spot to like set down your camp inside, protected from the wind and stuff like that. But you still got a good eye of if anyone comes up on you or anything like that. And you rest up because you need it. You feel awful, like physically, emotionally. You were drained. A lot of shit went down today. And as you're sleeping, you find yourself walking through a field. The field itself is kind of pretty, you would say. Not like verdant green pastures or anything like that, but you know, there's life in this field that you're walking through.
Okay.
And as you're walking through this field, you see up at the top of a hill a woman. And at first you think that it's your wife. But as you're walking closer, you realize that that's not your wife. It's somebody else. And as you get closer, you're starting to make out the features of this person. And this woman seems to be very gruff looking, like a scar or two across the face, dark dirty hair. She's wearing a blue jumpsuit, the yellow stripe across it and down. Looks like she's got a slave collar built into it. And as you're approaching, she seems to be just out of reach to make out any real distinguishing features other than what you got. and you're trying to like keep walking forward, and she's just standing there. She's smoking a cigarette, and then she takes it, throws it on the ground, and steps on it. And as soon as she steps on it, the entire field bursts into flames. And then you wake up, and it's the middle of the night, and you can hear what sounds like a cowbell kind of clanking in the distance.
I'm gonna grab my rifle. Grab my rifle. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to see what that is.
Yeah, so you sort of climb out of your car and you peek your head around the corner, and just off in the distance, right now the sky is pretty clear and the stars are out and it's lighting up the area pretty well. You can see just out in the distance what looks to be a pack Brahmin walking across the desert, and you can see the form of somebody, a person, behind him pulling on the reins.
And this is midnight? Like, it's dark out?
It's dark, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to move closer, and I'm going to see if I can tell who that is.
Yeah, so as you're approaching on him, you can tell that this person who's walking is frustrated. They're pulling on the rope. Every now and then you hear the Brahmin, like, moo. And he's, like, yanking on. He's like, oh, fucking come on. Let's go. Been walking through this goddamn desert for days. As you're walking through, it's still really dark to make out a lot of features, but you can tell that he sounds young, seems to be fairly well built as he's sort of walking across. The cow itself is a pack Brahmin. You can see that it's got some sort of supplies strapped to the top of it that's covered in cloth.
Okay.
As you use your scope to like look throughout the area, that's kind of the features that you're able to pick out in the dark.
I'm going to assume he's a merchant at this point of some kind, so I'm going to walk up to him. Be like, hey, buddy, you selling anything?
He's startled for a second. He's like, ah! Oh, what? Who goes there?
Yeah. The hell you walking at night for? I was wondering, are you a merchant? You selling things? What do you got in here?
Yeah. Yes, I am a merchant. Hold on. And you can hear him like running around one side of the Brahmin. And he's opening up a satchel.
Is it opposite side of me?
Yeah, opposite side.
I'm going to raise my rifle up and I'll be like, hold on there, buddy.
As you're doing that, you can hear a lantern click on.
Okay.
As a light emanates from him on the backside of the Brahmin. Hold on for what?
Dangerous world. Gotta be careful.
Of course, yes. And he steps back the backside of the Brahmin around with the lantern. Yeah, it's a very dangerous world. As he lifted up, he's like, oh God!
I was providing protection for us. Don't worry. You light that light, anybody can see us. What do you got? What are you selling over here?
Yeah, selling. Let's see here. And he walks over and he flips over the satchel in front of you. And he's
Hold
looking.
on. Don't look through it. What are you selling?
Odds and ends, this and that. What do you mean?
What I mean, it's midnight. You're pulling this Brahmin who clearly doesn't want to go with you, and you don't know what you got in the satchels. Is this your Brahmin?
What kind of question is that? Of course it's my Brahmin.
I keep that rifle aimed at him, and I'm going to kind of raise it a little higher. I'm like, it's a damn good question. Is it your Brahmin?
Go ahead and give me a level 2 intellect check.
All right. Yeah, we're just going to have to straight roll that one. 17.
This is not his Brahmin.
Yeah.
Of course it's my Brahmin. It's passed down from the family. My dad had it, my grandpa had it, and now I have it, and I need to get it home.
The only thing you're going to have is a bullet between the eyes unless you walk away.
What? Are you robbing me?
No more than you robbed the man or woman who owned this before you.
Look, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? And he kind of steps forward. He's like, this is my Brahmin. This is my, and he just kind of
cock the rifle.
He's like, okay, man, okay, buddy. Oh, all right, you got me. It's not my Brahmin. I took it from a farmer, but that guy was dead, man. He was dead. Like, this Brahmin was just sitting out here.
Was he dead before or after you saw him?
I didn't kill him, man. I can't kill anything, okay? I was just wandering around, scavenging for food and supplies, okay? And I came across a farm. I thought maybe I could trade some goods. I went into the barn house, and the guy was dead. There was a Brahmin standing next to him. No one else around for miles. And so I packed up the Brahmin and left. And this fucking heifer, he looks back, has been a pain in my side for 4 days straight.
So why are you bringing it with you?
Well, you don't just leave a Brahmin out in the middle of nowhere. These things are useful. They carry things for you. If they die, they make good meat.
I know that. What's it got?
Whatever I had and whatever was in the barn at the time. It's got some scraps, some junk, some cloth, clothes. It's got some food. I'd be willing to share if you put that gun down.
It's got a new owner. I'm taking this Brahmin. I'm taking that lantern. You're going to take a hike down that road.
Oh, come on, man. This I found this fair and square.
Yeah, and I just found it right now.
You seriously gonna steal my Brahmin?
Yeah.
And he just kind of shakes his head. He's like,
what do you need it for?
I need it to survive. I've been walking out in the desert for 4 days straight. This has all of my food and supplies in it.
If I take a look inside of this thing, what do I see?
It's got some random bits and bobs, some utensils, some random straps of cloth. There's some shoes in there. They don't fit. There's some caps. There's some jerky bottle. There's a Nuka-Cola bottle, but it's been filled with dirty water and corked. And then the other side, just more random stuff. It looks like he pulled the shelf out and strapped it to the top, so it's just got random shit in there. The entire time, as you're going through his stuff, he's just looking very perturbed as just holding up the lantern. He hasn't made any sort of move to be any kind of aggressive.
Okay. Tell you what, it's a dog-eat-dog world. But sometimes you need a little help to get by. Tell me where that farmer lived, and I'll let you go with your new cattle.
Thanks. Yeah. And he points off in a direction. He's like, it's about 4 days back that way. It's a big red barn house. At least one side of it's red. It looked like that might be a good spot to stop and take a rest, because there wasn't much else around there.
Is that in the same direction as where I'm headed?
No, it's the opposite direction. As far as if you were heading towards the pass, it's west. 4 days.
Okay.
To be honest, though, my friend, there's not much else over there. I strapped as much stuff as I could to Bessie here, and she moos. Look, I don't care if your name is not Bessie. That's what I'm calling you, because you're mine now, okay?
Where are you headed?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I was hoping to hit, Alamogordo or something, but I think I got turned around. That's north, right? And he's pointing, due east.
Yeah, that's the direction I'm headed.
Okay.
That's the direction I'm headed, right?
Are you headed east? East is towards the pass. That's the real question. Where are you headed?
I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to head east towards the pass.
Okay. He's like, oh, thank God. Yeah, Honestly, I just need somewhere to stop off, to drop off these supplies, maybe trade for some goods, get some more stuff together, see about sell this Brahmin. I mean, you look like you know how to handle yourself. If you come with me, maybe as protection to wherever we need to get to, I'd be willing to split the cost of this Brahmin with you once we sell it off.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that. That sounds fair.
Great. Can you stop pointing that gun at me?
Yeah, no problem. Throw it over my shoulder.
Awesome. Thank you.
What's your name?
My name? It's Thrawn.
Thrawn. This guy human?
Yeah, he's human.
Oh. It's a hell of a name, Thrawn.
Yeah, well, it's not my real name. I don't know what that is.
You don't know what your real name is?
No. Grew up in a little village. Bunch of orphans everywhere. Didn't know my parents or anything like that. But, and he reaches into the bag and he pulls out from his side of the stuff. You see something that you missed. He pulls out a comic book. I named myself after one of my favorite characters.
Oh. Okay.
And he pulls out like a sci-fi comic book, green aliens and stuff. Thrawn the Destroyer. And the Galactic Adventures.
You're a destroyer, huh?
Well, I mean, I like to think I am, but to be honest, I haven't done a whole lot of destroying.
Now maybe I could teach you a few things.
Sure, okay, mister. What's your name?
Miguel.
Nice to meet you.
That's my real name.
Okay. Miguel and Thrawn. That sounds nice. You can almost make like a comic book off of that.
Yeah, sure.
Thrawn, the Destroyer, and Miguel, his handy manservant.
Well, that sounds like some bullshit right there, kid, but you got an active imagination, so I'll give you that.
Were you, and he kind of points, sleeping in that car?
Yeah, what of it?
I just never would have thought to sleep in a car. Isn't that uncomfortable?
Look at me. My life is pain. It's nothing but uncomfortable.
Yeah, not to be rude or anything, but, what happened to you?
That's a long story. I'll tell you on the way over to, where we're headed.
Alright. If I can get this fucking cow, and he kind of yanks on the rope again, to come with me. He yanks on the rope, and Bessie, whatever her name happens to be, does not budge.
If I try, will it work?
Yeah, give me a level 1 intellect task.
Sure. 20, Nat.
You walk over, and as soon as you get within eyesight, Bessie turns and looks at you. Both of her heads, like, bray at the same time, and they walk towards you.
Animals love me.
As the Brahmin sort of walks over, and one of its heads starts like kneading into your hand and your shoulder, as the other one starts licking your hand. and Thrawn standing there is like, 4 days, 4 days, nothing. You show up for 5 minutes and she's licking your hand. Well, hands over the rope. I guess she's following you.
Sounds good, kid. Stick around, maybe you'll learn something.
Yeah, I guess so. Which way are we headed?
Head that way, and I'll point east.
Okay.
Which is north, because that's where the kid wanted to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Say, have you heard of Captain Planet and the Moon Monkeys?
No.
Oh man, it's a great tale. So, okay, imagine a planet where everybody is made out of a different element of the magical world, right? Okay? And so, there is a moon that surrounds each one of these planets that is inhabited by monkeys. And each of these monkeys have psychic powers specifically tuned to the elements. And as you guys are walking on,
kid.
He gets very, very in-depth detail of some random garbage as you guys kind of walk throughout the night, and we're going to stop there.
Okay. Should have left him behind.